All right, welcome back to week one, season two of Murk Esports. My name is Lost. I'm joined by Nike as my co-caster. The game we are casting today is going to be Elysian Esports Beach House on blue side for game one, and then Murk Ginyu Force on red side for game one. Looks like we are going to go ahead and get into draft. Bans will be starting now. What do we think we're going to see from them, Nike?
I think. Hold on. I don't even see it. It's blank for me, right?
Gonna be Yana.
Um, who was it? Sorry, one second.
Blue side, so Elysium banned out Jana and Mark Ginyu Force. I have not seen their first ban yet. I think Draftful
LeBlanc.
is dying.
It's
LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that because 70% win rate. It's best champ. Their best champ. Looks like they only play it. Um, by like KDA and win rates, I would say Kai'Sa is gonna come from Ginyu, Murk Ginyu.
Ginyu is gonna opt. Okay, so yeah. So Elysium's gonna opt to ban the Lux. Just looks like they're gonna end up to try and pinch that support pool a little bit. Potentially give their bot lane a more favorable matchup, knowing that this is where most of the contention is gonna come out of from this game, is from the bot lane matchups.
Yeah, I think Zombie can play some good engage and tanks though, so we'll see how that. Plus, I think he plays some funny stuff too. I don't know. I know Merc. You was talking about Merc doing Nocturne mid too, but I don't know. Oh,
So it looks like that R2 ban is going to end up being Skarner. It's going to be a Skarner ban for R2. Very safe jungler. Good engage, good pressure, good PO. He's kind of an everything. Everything
yep.
someday.
And you can play it kind of almost anywhere. I would say. I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's probably jungle, but
I mean, it's a strong flex top lane also right now, too. The nerfs haven't come through yet, so we're still playing on 14-19.
yeah.
Caitlyn ban's going to
And
come out.
Caitlyn ban. They play
Look,
Caitlyn.
I mean, it might just be Elysium taking out these power bot lanes that are just super, super impressive in the current meta right now. A
Right.
strong, push static shiv into collector or static shiv into other item, other adjacent item.
Hmm. I wonder if it'll be a Kai'Sa ban, or are they gonna just take away like their mid again? Or hmm, what do you think?
They
I don't know.
might be playing to first pick that Kaisa actually. No, they're gonna opt into Jinx. I don't. They might not care about the Kaisa, or they
Wait,
hovered it.
wait, what was their third ban?
I don't know. Gragas. Gragas is
Gragas.
going to be R3. So it looks like they're going to end up pinching out that jungle a little bit. Just
Mm-hmm.
opting into getting them off of comfort, potentially playing a more aggressive style of jungle. B1 is going to come out to Jinx for Elysium. Could lean into more of a team fight centric comp, very standard procedure. Jinx getting her 2 item power spike and then fighting over the dragons or the Herald. It's going to end up being a very, very standard draft from the side of Elysium, it looks like.
I don't know about Jinx right now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm not having too much good luck on it, but
He has
um.
a very, very potent build right now. It's what is it? Collector, I believe it's collector into opportunity.
Oh,
And the
really?
synergy between her passive and opportunity makes her super, super potent.
I was building collector at the last bit of the last split, but I didn't
Yeah.
ever build opportunity. Never did.
Opportunity states that when you kill, it's going to end up increasing your movement speed by 200 units per second,
Gotcha.
which is very, very good with Jinx. Zaya and Volibear are going to come out for R1 and R2 for the side of Merc Ginyu Force, potentially getting that heal, disengage from the potential engage from the side of Elysium, as well as having another go button to get onto this Jinx, potentially
Right.
shut her down early.
And Volibear is so strong right now. It's just kind of hard not to play it if you're
Yes,
playing in the jungle or even top. That can be flex too, but
very, very powerful flex.
yeah.
Rek'Sai going to come out B2. I mean, it's a strong tempo pick. Potentially helps assassinate the Zaya, force out the Feather Storm. Victor going to be a good facilitator for the Jinx as well. Very, very, very safe picks for the side of Elysium. They're going to err on the side of caution. No funny business tonight. Actually, they're going to swap out the Victor to Anivia. Another good PO champion for the Jinx.
Right.
Looks like they're
I
going to
want to.
really lean in.
I want to see like Leona or Nautilus or even Rakan or something. Or no, he plays Renata too. Just with Azaya though, it's just
They
I think
should
this. Yeah.
take the Rakan. 100% they should take the Rakan. It's
Uh.
up. It's there. They opt into picking the Oriana,
Yeah, because they already see Nivea. They want to try to.
which
Well, they're still gonna get cat or like, supports are more susceptible to
counterpick.
getting counterpicked, but it matters more about the support than the ADC in the bot lane at least, usually.
Yeah, you're gonna end up seeing. It looks like they're leaning heavy into this counter engage angle for the side of Murk and Force. Um, I don't hate it. I think if they play it correctly, it could be very, very potent.
Yeah, and Oriana can ball volley bear, and then nobody can really get on Zaya at the moment. Rek'Sai can jump in, but like Zaya just has ult and
Murk
sit.
Ginyu gonna take out the Pantheon, and then Elysium gonna end up opting to take out that Nautilus. And I kind of expected them to want to take the Nautilus actually, but maybe they're afraid of R4 Nautilus and then counter pick with the Volibear Flex top.
Yeah, like I
It
said,
is.
Zombie can play some engaged tanks, and Zaya's pretty good with them usually. So we'll see if he picks a Leona or even like you said, maybe still Rakan, hovering that Rakan maybe. But I don't think I've ever seen him play Rakan. But that's just me.
Oh, Kennen ban from the side of
Cannon
Merc
ban.
and Force. Um, I'm not entirely sure how Volibear does historically in the Kennen. I assume it's probably not an amazing matchup for him. So maybe they're looking to send that Volibear top and neutralize some of those counter picks that can
I would
be
ass-
leveraged.
I would assume they want to save their last pick for top, but you never know.
TF,
They could just be fooling everybody and Volibear top,
yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
said.
TF's going to go off the board here. They don't want any funny business. Rakan is going to end up being locked in for the side of Merc. Ginyu Force gonna secure that Zaya Rakan duo strength. Shen gonna come out for the B4 from Elysium. Could just be a good anchor top lane. Gives them the opportunity to ult with the Stand United onto the Jinx. Keep her alive for as long as possible. Get those resets cooking and forcing some extra damage down onto Merc Ginyu Force.
Hmm.
Shen is going to be locked in B4. This could be, it's more likely than not going to be top, but we have seen a good amount of the Rel. Okay. That's a spicy pick. I like the Rel. The Rel is good.
Rail
Uh,
into Rakan and Zaya. Hmm.
it's it pairs well with Jinx, but
Yeah.
I think that's about the extent. They
Oh,
might opt into taking Renata instead. I like this pick. Zyra potentially also.
Zyra. Oh my.
Lo- Looks like they're gonna lean into more of the go second playstyle of a Jinx rather than the more of aggressive playstyle. So they want to wait for Merc Ginyu Force to aggress onto them and then follow up with their follow up damage with the Zyra ult, with the Anivia ult, wall, stun, Shen ult, taunt, Rek'Sai flank angles. They're just looking to get them to use their cooldowns and pressure them back out. It looks like that's going to be the Elysium, game plan here.
Right.
Yorick, if
Yorick
I'm
top.
not mistaken, Drake, the jungler for Merc Ginyu Force, plays Yorick jungle, so we could see a Yorick jungle this game.
Wait, so who's their top?
X Wave is going to be their top laner.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So this could be a good game. This could be a very entertaining game for the viewers. But looks like our team compositions from top to bottom for Elysium is going to be Shen, Rek'Sai, and Nivea, Jinx, Zyra. And then, as far as my guess for Murk Ginyu Force goes, I think it's going to end up being Volibear, Yorick, Oriana, Zaya Rakan, with potential to switch to Yorick and the Volibear. But we have no confirmation on those lane assignments yet.
Yeah, we can't really tell. Huh.
Going into this game, though, both teams want to be the regressor, not the aggressor. So both teams want to go second, but Murk Ginyu Force doesn't have the range advantage to go and poke them out and force them to make a choice for the side of Elysium, but Elysium does have that range advantage. The one thing Merc Ginyu Force has over Elysium at the moment from this draft is going to be that split push pressure. They have Volibear, they have Yorick, they have Wave Clear from Zarya and Oriana. If they need to, they can just 4-1 a map, send forward to objective, send Yorick on a split push on the map, depending on if it's top or jungle. It could be Volibear on the split, it could be Yorick on the split. Whoever's that top laner is going to need to split that side lane and apply the pressure. Keep the pressure up. Split the enemy team.
Yeah, because if Shin doesn't get ahead, York's just always going to be able to pressure the towers. I think. I mean, he can taunt him under tower a lot, but we'll if it's even York top,
Yeah,
like
it
you
could be
said,
your jungle.
or
Like,
jungle,
we have no idea right now because of
because
the unique
because
pool from these players.
mm-hmm. And I would not be against the York jungle, but you know,
Yeah. There is some slight concerns with York jungle, especially into the Rek'Sai matchup. Rek'Sai being a relatively aggressive jungler, likes to go for those invades about level 3. Does York have enough HP or damage to sustain an invade from a Rek'Sai? Especially with the wave push from Anivia and Jinx, and then the pressure from Shen. Like, can he realistically survive an invade from a Rek'Sai? That
mm,
is probably not. It's going to be a little bit tough for them.
yeah, I just don't see the other guy, Wave, really. But I guess he's more of a bot laner. I don't really see him play any top lane champs.
It's going to be York top. Confirmed York top. So
Oh,
throw everything I just said out the window because it's York top and not York jungle, and I
who
thought that was
confirmed that? Who confirmed that?
the draft.
Hmm, gotcha. Yep,
So
you're
it is
right.
Volibear jungle. Um, yeah, throw what I said out the window. Volibear and Rek'Sai are not going to want to duel each other at all. Maybe over Scuttle, potentially. Could see some early skirmishes. Gonna have to watch out for that level 3 push from Anivia, rotating to Scuttle to help the Rek'Sai. Shen, obviously, going to, struggle a little bit into York. Ghoul's slight issue for him, but
Yeah,
nothing too major. And then as far as bot lane goes, damage. And you're just gonna have to poke each other out and wait for the jungler probably.
yeah. I think Zyra will facilitate a lot of damage in the bot lane. But if
Yep.
Rakan gets a knock up, just
I mean, yeah, that's the go button.
the plants are annoying though. The plants are annoying.
Oh yeah, gonna cause a large amount of problems for Mark Ginyu, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially plants soaking feathers, plants soaking recon cues. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with those plants and just causing issues for potential engages or fight angles from Mark Ginyu.
Right. But they are good, really good for getting objectives. So we'll see. We'll see if that plays a factor.
We will see. Just now finishing up draft about 50 seconds before we go into the waiting period for us production team. Do we have anything else that we wish to cover potentially?
Mm, no, I don't see.
All right. Aim 1 Elysium Esports Beach House versus Murk Ginyu Force. Looking to shape up to be a very strong game one. Two very exciting team comps. Very unique drafts from both sides, in my opinion. Could see some very explosive plays. Should be very entertaining to watch. In about 7 seconds, we will be transitioning over to the waiting period. Thank you guys for tuning in. Give us about a couple minutes to catch up on casting side, and we will see you as we load into the game. All right, welcome back to game number 1. We are Murk and Ginyu Force on red side and Elysian Esports Beach House on blue side. Gonna be setting up for a standard 5-point from both teams. Looking like no one's really gonna want to make the first move here.
I want to see some invades tonight. Some invades.
Seriously.
Oh,
That stun gonna be coming out from the Anivia, gonna be forcing the Orianna back, making her take a little bit of a reset here to get that HP back. Not gonna be permanent, but should be a potential
dang.
Manifold Band stack from Anivia.
Kappa's ping is only 4. That's crazy.
That is good.
That
Very,
is.
very good. Looks like they're going to move to get a ward. Them being Elysian Esports going to move to get a ward on that red side Raptors. Get them a little bit of vision control in the early game. Make sure that they don't get surprised by any Volibear rotates top. Bot lane both going to be going leashless here. Rek'Sai opting out to start on those wolves. Potentially 3 camp gate top. Volibear starting on the blue, looking for a full clear probably. Looks like Murk has vision. Jinx autos the minion, giving them vision, even though they had it anyways. Does not really matter. Both teams going to be vying for that bush control. A little bit of poking in this bot lane.
Yep.
Could see. Junglers follow standard pathing here. I would like to see where this Rek'Sai ends up going. Could be an invade, meet the Volibear on the Raptors, potentially. Stun's going to come out from the Nivea. Big damage on the middle lane.
Shoot,
Not a lot
Merc.
of follow-up.
Ooh.
Shen taking the aggressive trade top lane. Elysium getting the very, very powerful early HP lead, attempting to facilitate whatever this Rek'Sai is planning on the top side. Volibear looking to 3 camp, coming into this bot lane, doesn't get seen. Rakan goes in with a knockup, finds the Jinx, ignite down on Jinx. Xayah taking a lot of damage. Jinx is going to barely make it out alive. Volibear, no flash to follow this up. Already used it. Ignite down. Both sums from Xayah going to end up going down. Barrier's going to come out. Engage going to fall up onto the Jinx. Volibear's going to end up picking up first blood there. But Elysium's going to get the refrag for it. And it looks like Elysium's also going to pick up the mid lane. Honestly, not a bad trade all in all. Drake's going to end up feeling the pain from this one, not having those top camps up. You know, Red's moving in to take those Raptors from him. But all in all, looks like a fairly decent fight from the side of Elysium. They're not going to lose that much there. Only looking a path back through mid. Make his way up to his Raptors. Realizes that they are now gone.
Rek'Sai didn't take any of the others though, the red or the Krugs.
Just
So
the Raptors. Maybe they were under the assumption that Volley was going to end up taking a recall there. Rakan going to find the roam from bot lane. Going to force out the flash from Anivia. Very, very good roam from, the side of Murk. That's going to be feeling really good later for potential ganks from Volibear. Volibear looking to the top side here. York has the wave set up in a favorable position. Shen does not have information.
no, he
Volibear
doesn't.
gonna find the gank path here.
It's probably another
Ginyu
flash spawn, maybe. Oh,
Haunts
maybe not.
out. Doesn't really get forced out here. Volley gonna end up losing a considerable amount of HP. Shen stays in the fight. York hits the ghouls. Ghouls doing a lot of damage. York's gonna end up finding the first kill on him. That's gonna end up being an extra kill for the side of Murk. Looking very good. Rakan dashes in, finds the trade. Rek'Sai gonna get the burrow. Gets the knockup. Finds the pick on Rakan. Gets the excited on Jinx. Finds the Xayah. It's gonna be a double kill for the side of Elysium. Potentially this dragon as well. Lots of action going on the map everywhere right now.
We'd like to see that. We like to see that, definitely.
Definitely makes casting a lot better. I will tell you that. Rather than sitting here saying, "Oh, Orianna farmed her 560th minion." That's gonna be 4 kills for the side of Elysium and 2 kills for the side of Murk Ginyu. Neither team out of the running yet. Elysium looking very, very powerful on this Jinx already, having the recurve and the Resetrix, as well as an additional... Oh, no, she's actually going to drop the recurve Resetrix, go into the Heartbound Axe, probably opting out to build... I think that's Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, I think so.
Shen is going to have the Stand United come online. Level 6 on the top side already. This dragon looking more and more doable for the side of Elysium. With the Stand United being active. Going to have the Glacial Storm come out mid just to clear out those waves. Using a considerable amount of mana for Anivia.
And Jinx is... Oh.
Yeah, no, Jinx is very strong here.
She's also way ahead of Xayah.
I would
in terms
agree
of farm.
with 100% that they should probably look to push this Jinx even further ahead. I'm gonna see Volley take an aggressive invade path into this bottom side jungle of Rek'Sai. Gonna take camps away from Elysium. Potentially looks up towards these grubs. Rek'Sai gonna get one of the grubs right now. Gonna take her preset burrow away. Red gonna be able to get out of there relatively unharmed. Rakan looks for the knockup, doesn't quite connect it. Volley claims the last grub. 2 grubs to the side of Elysium, 1 grub to the side of Murk. York gonna look for the pick onto Shen, gets taunted in response. Rek'Sai gonna be there. Red gonna end up having the follow-up flashes coming out from both sides, and that's gonna be an extra kill for the side of Elysium, catching out that York on a rather aggressive play. But Red being there to follow that up makes it all the much sweeter for them.
Looks like they might try something here.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to end up moving Murk up. Shockwave's going to go out. Flash is not going to connect. Shockwave's going to miss. Burrow's going to come out. Double knockup for the side of Red. Elysium's going to get out of there with both their lives. Super Mega Death Rocket going up to the top side of the map. Can it connect? I don't believe so. I think it's going to go right by the Volley Bear. Maybe it loops back around. Who knows? Stand United going to come out onto Red here just to get, Shen back to lane sooner. It looks like they're going to opt out to not use another dragon. Rakan going to look for the engage on to Zyra there, get a little bit of damage down, potentially regen a little bit of HP. We see Drake invading that top side, getting a little bit of extra farm, CS, and pressure down onto Red, hopefully putting him in a position that is less favorable. Xayah's going to end up going down to the Comet from Zyra. Probably should use their names. Endless going to die to Brim there.
Yeah, right now it seems like Xayah just cannot do anything at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see... I think they need to see Drake down here in this bottom lane, facilitating a little bit more potentially. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Taunt's going to come out from Shen, taking that aggressive trade with the extra Tiamat damage. Lots and lots of damage coming out from the side of Elysium. It's going to put Wave, or X-Wave, in a predicament, not having TP up. Gonna have to take a base and eat the loss on this wave. Looks like Murk, Murk Ginyu Force taking vision control of this Dragon Pit, hoping to claw their way back into a position of power. They have Drake hovering on that bottom river. Attempting to find something, can't really do much. Plants are going to hit the dragon, start it for them. Potential wraparound angle from the side of Murk. Gonna connect the stun onto Nivea. Nivea flash comes out, doesn't really get much else for it, but the flash is going to be more than enough for a consolation prize. Khan looking for the engage, finds the feather, gets the heal, doesn't commit to anything else. Looks like this dragon's gonna get started. Volley taking the scuttle. Both bot lanes moving up here. Zyra, Orianna does have TP available, but doesn't opt to get the back in. Volibear gonna get caught out by the Rek'Sai knockup. Gotta see the Void Rush come out, not for damage, but for chase. Stormbringer's gonna go down as an escape mechanism. All in all, no kills, but that is going to end up being Dragon for the side of Elysian. I'm sure they are not pressed by this turn of events.
Yeah, I was wondering when they were gonna take it because they're so ahead bot lane.
Could be that they wanted to put their lane in a position where they wouldn't lose anything from taking it in terms of CS. Fight's gonna break out into the tower. Maiden's gonna be trying to drain away the Shen's HP, but it's not gonna be quite enough. Ghouls are gonna connect. York gonna be end up forced out of lane once again. Doesn't have the TP, but Shen does have that TP available. Looks like we're gonna be able to force a little bit of pressure onto the map from the side of Elysian. That second rotation of Void Grubs coming up right now. Both junglers opting to pass straight up to it. Could see a fight break out on this top half of the map. Khan gonna connect the knockup, gonna opt into not forcing this fight. I mean, hopefully these bot lanes don't, try to fight each other. I mean, it would be fine for Elysium, I think, to aggress a little bit here, but Murk cannot facilitate it. Knockup's gonna go down on the Jinx. No extra damage gonna be forced. Zaya not in range for the follow-up. Stun's gonna go out onto Orianna mid. Damage gonna go out from the Anivia. Gonna lock her in. Dropping the Glacial Storm, forcing out Orianna Flash. Volley currently trapped in pit, nor Stormbringer available. No flash to his name. Gonna end up being forced to fight the Rek'Sai and the Shen in the pit. Void Rush gonna come out, executing the Volley Bear. That's gonna end up being a kill for the side of Elysium. And those grubs gonna end up being secured for them. Stranglethorn's gonna come out. Zaya gonna be forced to use Featherstorm. That's gonna be the quickness coming out from Murk as an escape tool. It looks like they're gonna make it out with their lives here. The 3 grubs going to the side of Elysium. Gonna solidify that split push lead. Taunt's gonna go out into York, forcing him to take a little bit more of this damage. York Flash is gonna end up being burned. Rek'Sai gonna end up connecting the Q. It's gonna be an extra kill for the side of Elysium onto their Shen. And that's gonna end up being York going down. Shockwave's gonna come out from mid lane, forcing out a little bit of HP. Potential gank on the bottom lane here. Jinx looking for the kill, doesn't quite have the damage to facilitate it though. Stormbringer is going to come out from Volley Bear, chasing. Stand United is going to come out from Shen. Shen is there to make an impact. Taunts the Zaya, hoping to play for this reset on Jinx. Gets a double kill onto the, one for Zyra and one for Jinx. But nonetheless, a very, very strong Stand United play from the side of Elysian. Going into this game, I mean, we didn't really have any solid information on the Elysian Esports Beach House roster. All we had was their match histories and their champion pools. But as far as I'm aware, in their performance from this game, they look to be a strong contender for the season.
Yeah, definitely seems like some mismatches in these lanes today. So,
I mean, it's not like, I mean, Murk is by no means one of the lower teams. They're very much so what I would consider a, middle of the pack team, ranking, 9th on prediction rankings from performances last season. But they're not a bad team, that's for sure. So I think this just further proves to solidify and build a repertoire for the side of Elysian. Trade's gonna go out from Shen aggressive, has more items, gets to force this York to do whatever he wants. York not really having the option to do much of anything. Vegan for the red side coming out on that bot, or that top side jungle for blue. Pink ward's gonna get cleared out, looking for a potential gank on the top side with Rek'Sai.
maybe Merc's team just having the Monday blues.
Very possible. Shen going to opt for an aggressive trade. Can they take away enough HP from him? Nope. Super Mega Death Rocket's going to connect on York, forcing him out of this fight entirely. Rek'Sai is going to get the burrow knockup. Void Rush is going to come through. Volley Bear is going to end up going down. They're going to try to force a dive, 4 of them onto this York. Zyra's going to get the bind and the double plants, and it's going to end up taking out X-Wave. And they're going to end up taking that tower too. Very, very dominant macro performance right there. Very good rotates from the side of Elysian. I still don't believe that Murk is entirely out of this game. They still have options with their split push potential. Elysian just showing that they are not a force to be reckoned with. Gonna end up taking that Herald down. Red gonna look onto the flank, onto the Orianna, potentially trying to secure a pick. Jinx reclaiming that wave state for the side of Elysian mid lane. Maybe pressuring out that bottom lane. Potentially setting these waves up to look for a dragon. Volibear lurking in that jungle. Potentially looking for this counter engage, if it so happens. Elysian's gonna opt out for a safer play. Shen having to stand united still up means that we either force York TP in this fight, or he just gets to interact with them for free and York takes the top turret. Herald's gonna end up being placed mid, potentially claiming this tier 1. He should be able to get it. Gonna force the grubs on. Quickness gonna come out. Featherstorm gonna come out. Stormbreaker's gonna go down onto everybody. Zyra's almost dead, but gets saved by the Stand United. One reset for Jinx gets the passive going. Gonna find the Xayah as well. Looking onto the Volibear. Gonna end up taking the Volibear down, hopefully. Doesn't quite find it though. It looks like that's gonna end up being a double kill. 2 for 1 for the side of Elysian. Not a upsetting development for them. Murk slowly. Go ahead.
They should just leave this alone and let York split now at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
it looks like
Shen's not even going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a free TP for the side of Murk. They're not going to be upset with that consolation prize from a fight against a very, very powerful Jinx.
I think
yeah,
that's
they need
really...
to get gold on this York. I think that is definitely their win condition.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's their only win condition, really, is if York can split push while they do stuff on the map.
I would agree, yeah. I think this York needs to be as much of a threat as possible, so Shen cannot leave him alone. If Shen is allowed to leave him alone, then that is where you will see Murk start to lose these fights. And that's exactly what's happening. Shen is making these stand united plays from across the map, and York just doesn't have the means quite yet to take resources away from Elysian. So we end up seeing these very positive trades for Elysian.
Yeah, I think once he gets a couple items and maybe some armor pin, like, even if Shen is there, I think he just shreds Shen and is able to do it for free. And they can make it a 3v5 once he gets to that point to split push.
Yeah, I mean, they might still have a good solid 5-10 minutes before he gets to that stage. So it's going to be a war of attrition for the side of Murk and Ginyu Force. Can they hold out against the relentless onslaught from Elysian here? Shen going to be looking on the flank for the York. Jinx there to facilitate it. Red not that far behind. Jinx gonna be getting free auto splash coming out from X-Wave. X-Wave's gonna go down. Maiden's gonna be slowly taking away her HP bar. That's gonna end up being a good amount of pressure for the side of Elysian. York being down means no side waves are gonna be pressured. This is gonna force Volley to rotate to the top half of the map.
And that Nivea is just getting bot lane for free.
Yep, Hound is gonna end up taking that bot lane for free. Or are you going to attempt to move the pressure? The Xayah being locked on that top half of the map at the moment. Gonna have to rotate down. TP coming out from X-Wave, I believe, onto the Anivia. Doesn't quite find anybody. Bind gonna come out from Zyra. Doesn't quite catch. I mean, it does catch Khan. Isn't quite good for much in terms of damage. Orianna looking for a potential shockwave onto Jinx. Looks like Murk is ready to go to fight for their next objective. I think they want this Baron. All of Elysian going to be taking their time getting in their recalls, getting their items on board. Jinx hitting her second and a half item, meaning that Chaotrix is going to be able to facilitate the rest of the damage for this game, being very, very potent. Shen looking for a potential flank on their bot lane. Featherstorm's going to come out from Xayah. Quickness going to go out for Rakan. Doesn't quite catch any. That's going to be Stranglethorns going down. Doesn't quite catch any, but Super Mega Death Rocket going to go past the Volibear. Ends up connecting with the Xayah, resulting in a pick for the side of Elysian. And I think they just turned that into Baron. It's going to be very, very painful for the side of Murk.
Yeah.
Murk losing their grip on this game.
As long as they use Baron for this.
I would agree, yeah. Nibby going to connect the bind. Glacier Storm's going to come out. It looks like a potential fight's going to break out in the jungle. Shen just taking on both of them at once. Flash Burrow's going to connect on Orianna. Shockwave's going to catch the Zyra, and then in a pick. Looks like Anivia's going to find the York. It's going to be good. Shen looking on to the Volibear, trying to force him out of vicinity of the jungle. It looks like Murk sacrificing their Orianna was enough to get them off of the Baron. It's the small victories, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a loss off that one.
It's not a loss, that's for sure.
They did not get Baron.
Power bounties still being up. Xayah hoping to be able to claim this mid-tower bounty with that triple stacked wave. Hopefully resulting in a little bit of an income increase for the side of Ginyu Force. Does not look like Shen is going to allow that to happen. Volley farming his blue, in danger, doesn't know it. Gets engaged on by the Rek'Sai Burrow coming through. Stormbringer's going to come out to dodge the Stranglethorn. Flash taunt from the Shen. Super Mega Death Rock. It's not going to connect with anybody. That's still going to be a pick on to Ginyu Force's jungle, forcing them out of this objective. That's going to be the third dragon for the side of Elysian. Very, very good vision play from Elysian. Looks like Murk's going to attempt to claim their Constellation prize in the mid turret. Shockwave's going to go out on Shen. It looks like they're just going to try to disengage with it. Not the worst idea.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, they have the same amount of towers. I mean, I know they're about to looking down mid, but
Shen looking for potential engage, finds the pull onto the Xayah. Featherstorm going to come out. Knockup going to come out from Rakan. Quickness going to go down, finding one, doesn't quite find any more. That's going to be Glacial Storm. Void Rush is up, and an option for Rek'Sai here. Gonna find a taunt onto Xayah. Connects, ends up getting the kill. Glacial Storm onto both of them. Rakan goes down, and Volibear goes down. That's a triple kill, and 3 passive stacks for Jinx. These towers are going to get shredded. That is pretty devastating for the side of Murk. I do not envy their position at the moment. York being forced out of a considerable amount of HP under this turret. Nivea just not allowing him to play the game. Maiden's going to be drained of her HP as well. End up going down, both of them falling to Hound for the side of Elysian. Elysian looking very, very, very powerful in this game. Very good showing from them. Going to end up opting to set up this Baron. Murk being down a player means that they cannot reliably contest this, but Drake is going to take the gamble, attempt to go for the steal here, then zoning him off of this objective means that Elysian going to go uncontested, gets the Baron. Anivia attempting her recall. No TP available, so we're going to be waiting on her to return to this fight. Elysian potentially looking to close out the rest of this game off of this next set of plays with the Baron buff. Currently up 12,000 gold presently. Just about. Khan's going to go out onto Rakan. Rakan's going to end up making it out alive. Not really going to be struggling here. Plants are going to end up doing a little bit extra damage here. It's just the poke that matters. 5v5 gonna break out. Taunt does not quite connect. TP goes out from Orianna to the back turret. What is going on? Quickness onto Jinx. Doesn't quite find anybody. Stranglethorn Stormbringer onto Jinx as well. Molly's trying her best, but doesn't quite connect. Jinx gonna get one reset, gonna find a second one as well. And I mean, that was, you know, that was a TP, alright.
That was a TP, Murk. What was he doing?
Gonna end up connecting the burrow to Yorick, forcing him out of this fight. Shen's gonna go down. Super Mega Death Rocket goes onto the Orianna. Doesn't quite find the kill, but the Rockets will. Gets the kill. Onto Jinx. Reset passive. Xayah gets bound. Can't really contest anymore. Tower's gonna go down. Passive reset. Excited on Jinx. Double excited. And then that's just gonna be the game for Elysian. That's gonna be 1-0 side of Elysian. Honestly, very dominant performance. I don't think you can ask for much more. That was a very, very powerful set of games for Elysian.
Anivia had a lot of good stuns.
Yeah.
Think about that. I don't know if they even banned any mids last game. Did they?
I can check for you. They banned LeBlanc. They banned who else did they ban? Two of the bans were blind, so I would not be able to tell you those last two.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think either Murk needs to have more help in the mid lane, or maybe they just prioritize just banning Ziggs out. I don't know. It's and Jinx, I guess she's still strong. Like it's just always gonna be something to maybe be banned.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's a guessing game for the side of Murk, right?
Right.
Who is going to end up being the more problematic factor on these teams? Because Shen showing a very dominant display as well in that top lane, forcing out a lot of pressure. You know, the jungler for the side of Elysian getting so much value, and I mean, I think the rotations were just a little bit too fast for Drake to keep up. So maybe we isolate part of the map, potentially go for a weaker side on one of the lanes, and then just play it towards the other half and attempt to, you know, force a lead in one of our lanes, make it so unplayable for the side of Elysian. That might just have to be what they end up leaning into.
Yeah, and you never know. The next game could be a reverse, just the way they pick and ban. It could just be a reverse sweep or something. You never know.
Hey man,
I've
I'm
seen it
all
happen.
for the extra content.
Seen it happen.
Content.
But at the moment, it looks like most of the laners on the side of Elysium was a whole lot stronger than the side of Murk.
Yeah, Elysian took that game 100%. Very dominant display from all of their lanes, all their jungles, all their supports. Everything is just, it was go, go, go. They didn't let off the gas. But yeah, I think,
I don't know if,
I'm not sure what we're doing going into game 2. We might go for a quick intermission here. Gotta confirm with production real quick. Okay. So yeah, we'll go into intermission here, and we will join you guys back for draft in game 2.
Send help. They're all dead.
All right, welcome back, you guys, to game number 2 of Elysian um, Esports Beach House versus Murk Ginyu Force. After a very devastating, uh, you know, win for Elysian on game number 1, we're gonna end up loading into the second draft. Not entirely sure what Ginyu's, game plan is going into the second game, but should be interesting nonetheless. Waiting on draft to start. Any thoughts on your end, Nike?
I think Shin should be definitely a ban because of team. The team comp is just like it's always good for competitive play, but if you're not ahead and they just get ahead just because of the Shin ults, it's kind of hard to come back from, especially with snowball champs.
Then do we think that potentially um Elysian might opt into an alternative play style with the Galio? Maybe is Galio a potential option for them,
Oh
or
yeah, he definitely can be played top now, right? As well.
not even just top though? Like even in the mid lane, like do they
Yeah.
take more of those global ultimates like the TF or like the Galio or Shen or Nocturne? Just these high impact, cross map champions.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. Like I said, I think the side of Elysian definitely have a mismatch in the mid lane. I think Sensual Vixen definitely can get ahead most of these games against Merc. Um, and then just with the jungle pressure, it wasn't too far. I don't think it was too far of a disadvantage on Merc's side, but they did uh they did just get ahead. I don't. Sometimes it just happens,
Yeah,
and
I
you can't
think
really.
it came down largely to Elysian ready to receive their jungler in their lanes.
Right.
I I think is what ended up being the deciding factor for those games. But yeah, Shen being a huge problem for Merc, cross map,
Hmm.
super dangerous. Um, could potentially see Jinx go to. I'm not sure, especially with the potential disparity in the mid lane. You could argue that then potentially leaving LeBlanc up could be very dangerous for the side of
Yes.
Merkinho. We don't know what Hound will end up doing with a strong burst mage assassin like the LeBlanc, or even if they play Silas. Silas is very strong on this patch. Super potent laner. Who would end up turning that mid lane into a giant gold sink. They got to be really careful around drafting that in this game.
Yeah, because Anivia is supposed to be like just stalling the game out, and it just seemed like she was way stronger in the early game. So if he picks like a strong laner like early on, I don't know if Merc can deal with that. I don't know if he can.
Well, we're gonna move into draft here. Cannot presently see the ban, but as soon as I can, I will go ahead and call it out. Two bans going down, both of them still blind for me. All right, LeBlanc's going to end up coming out for the first ban for Merc Ginyu Force. Obviously, going to end up limiting that mid lane pool as much as possible. Doesn't want to have to deal with Hound potentially getting that reach on a champion like LeBlanc. Janna going to come out for Elysium. Doesn't want to have to deal with the enchanters in the bot lane, looking for a more aggressive style of play down there potentially. Skarner going to come out from Merc Ginyu Force for the B2 ban. And once again, another strong pick, strong flex pick. Looks like they're going to opt out to leave that off the table. Um, cannot see the second ban for Elysian yet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Did not see it again.
Going to be Lux, eliminating another very safe bot laner, both for the ADC and support roles. Anivia is going to end up getting banned. It looks like they agree with you saying that that mid lane was an issue. They're going to want to play through mid, it looks like. Attempt to get Hound in a less comfortable position. But that does leave first pick up for Merc Ginyu Force. Not seeing the third ban for Elysian quite yet, but it's going to be the Ash.
Ash. Okay.
Ash,
Oh.
very, very standard safe laner. Has the poke, has the
Plus,
disengage from arrow, has engage.
plus she's strong against Jinx if they wanted to play Jinx again. But
Yeah, Merc's gonna opt into first picking that Sivir. Elysian going to respond with a hover on the Jinx. Not quite committing to the game plan yet, but that Sivir is for sure locked in. I'm not sure if it's a flex for them or if they're just gonna end up shoving their bot lane onto it. But either way, Zenless is going to have to make a do with whatever he is given here. Jinx gonna end
maybe,
up being confirmed.
maybe it was just the jitters first game.
Hopefully, that was a very, very, very strong game for Elysium. I'm hoping that we see a little bit less of a tempo swing, but I mean that is exactly what Elysium drafted for last game was the snowball. So
And like you
Sejuani
said,
gonna be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like you said, I mean Sejuani can, but it looks like they're gonna go with Wukong instead. But Sejuani could get Jinx ahead as well with the engage.
So can Wukong. Both very,
Definitely.
very strong engaged champions. Both big walls for the Jinx to hide behind. Wukong being more of a flank centric, a little bit of a surprise jump scare champion. But nonetheless, very good engage, very good disengage. Galio going to be hovered for the side of Murk. I love this pick. I think Galio is very, very potent, especially into what we know as far as Hound's pool goes. Being mostly mage centric, Galio is going to perform very, very well into that. Could be flex to the bottom lane. We do not know yet. I'm not sure if their support on Murk plays the Galio, being a zombie, but it is very possible. Gonna end up locking that Amumu in. I'm going to assume that it's gonna go into the jungle. Fair enough matchup into Wukong. A good engage pressure with the Galio, having to follow up. And Curse the Sad Mummy, very, very potent ability, especially into like Jinx and Wukong.
Yeah. And if they play it right with several on top of the Mumu and Galio, how is anybody protecting Jinx?
Exactly. They're gonna opt into another artillery mage. Nope,
Oh,
nope. Yep, nope, nope. Victor?
maybe.
Victor. Okay. Control mage locked in for the side of Elysian. Victor gonna be able to keep up that spacing between the Galio and the Amumu. I'm not sure if the matchup mid is going to be favorable for the Victor. I think Galio's wave clear is a little bit stronger early, so we could potentially see more roams from Murk this game in the early game to attempt to equalize the pressure bot, get this Sivir ahead, and force this Jinx out of the game. Gonna be going back into the second round of bans. The R4 ban on Elysian's side is gonna go to the York. They're gonna take him off of comfort in the top lane. What is Merc's response here?
Do they get rid of the Shin because of last game? Hmm.
We will
Uh,
see as soon as Syra's going to end up going down. Doesn't want to give that extra peel to the side of Elysian. Syra was doing quite a big percentage of damage last game. I don't
yeah,
hate the
definitely.
ban. Merc could also be leaving the Shen up on purpose to attempt to bait Elysian into taking it blind or giving it to the side of Merc. And then they have the Galio and the Shen for the Wombo. Well, we won't see the side or that R5 ban for Elysian quite yet. Oh, draft law. Gonna end up being that twisted fate. They don't want to deal with that in the side lane, it appears. B5 ban not quite visible for us yet. Shen's gonna be end up covered. Gonna be a Gwen ban on the side of
And
B5. Shen gonna end up being locked in for Elysian in the
a
top lane.
total. Oh no.
It's gonna be left up. Shen, very, very potent last game. Good counter to Galio here. Has longer range on those ults. going to be able to protect that Jinx or potentially facilitate and engage with the Wukong. Very, very potent here, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know why they would let the Shin go through. I don't
I
even.
Like I said, I believe it was to potentially force the Shen into a worse matchup.
Hmm.
Could be an Ornn pick, could be something else. But nonetheless, like I think they wanted the Shen themselves to have with Galio, but Elysian just read them and took it and accepted their challenge. Renata going
Yeah.
to be locked on to B4 here. Renata Sivir, very, very powerful lane. Doesn't really do much in terms of kills, but it is going to be a very, very sustainable lane. Rumble going to be locked onto that B5 equalizer being a super strong and powerful ability. Braum going to be picked to counter it. That's going to end up stopping the equalizer potentially if it gets dropped onto them, or the Renata ult with the hostile takeover and potentially boomerang from Sivir.
Yeah, it's just gonna be hard to get onto Jinx again with Wukong engage and Shin ult. Um, and you still have to like you have Braum shield. You had to deal with Victor damage, AOE.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
it's not impossible for Murk to take this game still. They have very, very good choke-centric team fight. They can force Elysium into these bad choke fights. They can take tempo away from them. Look for the engage with the Amumu. Curse of the Sad Mummy. Get the Galio ult on top of the Equalizer. And potentially shred down their team faster than they can do damage.
yeah,
Also, Renata leveraging potentially Jinx's scaling against them with
right.
that hostile takeover is going to be very detrimental for the side of Elysium. If they can lock this Renata out of the game, I think that is optimal for them. Otherwise, I would say Elysium drafting, we are seeing their identity come out a little bit more. These weak side, I wouldn't say weak because Shun's not, he's winning his lane, but
Mm,
these weaker side top lanes that don't need as much hand holding and instead giving all of their resources into their bot lane and potentially trying to scale Chaotrix out of the lane and make him as big of a threat as possible.
mm. Yeah, I want to see some good Amumu picks onto either the Jinx or Victor, and then some equalizers with the Galio ult on top of Amumu.
Yes, I think that is their game plan, and hopefully they have a little bit better of a time faring against it this game. Maybe they were just caught off guard game one.
Yeah.
That could just be the case that they were not expecting that type of aggression from Elysian. Elysian being a team that we haven't seen before in this league,
Hmm.
at least. I mean, it's a new roster as well, so I don't think anybody's really seen them. And yeah, I don't think Merc was ready for it, but we will see. Hopefully, they bounce back. They throw hands again, they get down with it, and put some pressure back onto Elysium, make them go onto the back foot this time.
Right. And like Nick said in the chat, like they have all AP on the side of Murk except for Sivir, and Sivir needs some time to scale into the game. So it's gonna be. I feel like on the side of Elysian, they definitely can opt into some early MR items
The
and be
nice
set
thing
for a while.
about Curse of the Sad Mummy, though, is going to be that MR shred, right? Mumu having
True.
the built-in MR shred on his passive is going to end up playing towards the favor of, the Rumble ult, not having to optimize into as much Magic Pen, hopefully. Um,
Right.
Galio, still going to do that damage with the Colossal Fist and a bunch of those other strong abilities. Renata is going to probably leverage their damage anyways, so it's not as impactful as into her. I mean, you're still going to be getting hit by Jinx, so
Yeah. Plus, I'm pretty sure Rumble counters Shin, right? It's kind of
yes,
hard for Shin to play. Like,
Rumble is very, very good into Shen, but we have seen, we have seen Kappa navigate Shen before, and he looked very dominant in it. So who's to say that he is not prepared for this type of matchup.
Right.
If
Mm.
Murk is able to get the early game pressure that they need, force Shen onto the back foot top side, they could end up forcing Elysium into a potential deficit for objectives. And I think that is going to end up being ultimately their goal, is to take control of those objective pits early and play off those chokes with the Amumu and the Galiold, obviously. But if they secure those first 2 dragons, I think Elysian is going to struggle quite a bit.
Let's see. I know any good Rumble ults will definitely change the whole game, because especially early. I think they can get ahead that way.
Rumble being a very, very potent solo laner. I would agree. Yeah, it's hard to trade with Rumble early because he just has built-in magic and armor spread with his E, as well as the flamethrower just being such a good source of damage for him. It would be nice to, yeah, potentially, have them sink as much resources as they can into this top side to get this Rumble as far ahead as possible so the Shen cannot reasonably rotate to objectives and force uneven fights for them. But, 20 seconds before draft is over. Could be quite the interesting game. We've got about a 3-minute wait on production for our casting timer. So we will go into intermission here shortly, and we will come back to you when we are ready to cast the rest of this game. right. Welcome back to game number 2, Elysian versus, Murk. We're gonna see these two try to battle it out again. Game number 2, hopefully going to see a little bit more contention from the side of Murk. They didn't exactly have enough time to be able to execute their plan, but we will see. Gonna opt into standard 5-point procedure.
Where's the invade?
I don't think they want to be honest. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, any kills on the Jinx is really, really bad.
Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
Well, even with Braum, he could invade, or their team, Elysians.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of the teams are wanting to, potentially concede any pressure here. But I think we're just going to opt into standard clear procedure, standard positioning, leashless for both sides. They did opt into sending the Shen mid to hopefully neutralize that bad matchup for both sides. Honestly, not a bad lane swap. Victor does decent into Rumble, and Shen does okay into Galio as well, so not terrible. Gonna leave that Shen to, or sorry, other way around. Gonna leave the Galio to be able to match the Shen roams, though. Not gonna have that cross map presence. Gonna be a little bit shorter. Shen gonna opt into the trade, gets the bone plating off, takes away half of Galio's HP there. Potentially put some pressure onto that lane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Both games, Shin got level 2 before his lane. So
yeah, he's managing to wave very, very well. Taunt's gonna connect onto the Galio. Galio gonna taunt right to back. Wukong looking for a potential flank angle on the mid lane here. Gonna sit in that brush for a second to bait him in. We're gonna be walking this topside fight though. Rumble gonna go down to 1 HP. Wukong finds the angle. Gets to force the Galio out of lane. Both sides gonna have an immense amount of pressure on both of these lanes.
oh,
Victor gonna take a little bit of that tower damage. I'm gonna potentially looking to attach to this. Victor, TP's gonna come out from Rumble. Fight gonna come out from bot lane. Jinx gonna attempt to get this stun onto Renata. Stun's gonna connect onto Renata. Just a little bit of chip damage coming out here. Wukong attempting to look for this bot lane. Lethal tempo is stacked up on Jinx. Jinx gonna look for a couple autos next to Renata. Renata being forced to flash out. Sivir relatively unharmed though. Gonna take a lot of HP off of this bot lane. Potentially not leaving them open to be ganked. Renata leaving for W, up and ready to go. Handshake's gonna connect. Doesn't really result in much, but it is pressure still nonetheless. Rumble putting pressure on this Victor top lane, gonna connect a little bit of damage onto him. Victor not forced to use his summoner spells at the moment. Bots going out mid. Victor forced to base and TP back to lane. Galio gonna connect the punch and the wings, chipping out the Shen as much as he can. Damage going out from Jinx on bot lane. Gonna try to get the kill. Ignite goes out from Renata. Has the bailout, connects the bailout, gets the kill onto Jinx, revives the Renata. It's gonna be 1 kill for the side of Murk. Looking for the second one potentially. Braum taking quite a bit of damage. Do we connect the handshake? Handshake connects and Sivir gets a double kill on the bottom side. Amazing, amazing play from the side of Murk. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from the Renata. Perfectly timed to bail out, reviving the Renata off of the Jinx execute, forcing them into a position where they cannot respond.
it almost looked bad. Sivir wasn't close enough to do damage to Jinx, but
They definitely made it work there.
yeah, it was kind of scary at first.
So we're gonna be very potent in this lane now. With the extra BF sword over the Recentrix on Big Jinx. Wukong or Red, sorry, gonna have to attempt to break this 2v2 bot lane at some point. Both junglers going to be looking at this top side at the moment. Wukong opting into moving into the river here, looking for these grubs. Rumble gonna take. Oh, we just saw that Rumble and Galio. Sorry, I didn't even realize this. Rumble and Galio have switched lanes again.
Yep.
Wukong going to look on the engage on Rumble, but gets forced out of the fight due to Rumble's damage potential. Very good here. Galio looking for the engage, finds the taunt on Victor. Amumu making his way up top, looking for a counter engage. Victor, no mana at the moment, still has his flash up, going to save it for the bandage. Bandage toss misses, punch does not connect. Both flashes coming down from the side of Murk. The Stand United is going to come out, find the double taunt onto Galio. Galio going to pop his ult as well, going to connect. Get the knock up. Amumu finds one from them. Chen looking to claim some sort of consolation prize here, but Galio and Amumu going to get each other out, keep each other safe, and secure that one kill for the side of Murk Esports. Murk took the beating game 1, but comes back swinging game 2, doing exactly what their comp wants to do. Take this early pressure, force this Shen to make bad TP plays, and get punished for it. Very dominant at the moment. Rumble looking for a lane gank here. I don't think they know about it. They don't have the vision control on their bot side. Brush. They could be forced into a play against the equalizer here. Braum gonna move to check the bush, finds the connector. Good check by Braum, forces the Rumble to, leave and kind of give up here.
Yeah, that just puts Rumble a little bit more behind against Victor. The level advantage is coming.
Cyclone gonna come out on the Amumu while he's doing the grubs. He is gonna find one grub, but double Cyclone recast gonna connect. Amumu trying to banish toss to his wolves, but they are not up yet. Rumble trying to save with the equalizer, doesn't quite connect. Galio looking to move onto the Wukong, gets the taunt off on the Wukong. They end up finding the counter pick onto him as well. But I think if I'm Murk there, that is not all that terrible. 1-for-1 on grubs. Rumble gonna flash into the Victor. Chaos Storm gonna go down as well. Rumble looking for some sort of pick. Taunt comes out from Shen. The aggression does not reward them there. Elysian ending up with a 2-man pick. Looking very well off in that situation. Elysian gonna opt to recontest these grubs. Amumu looking for the bandage toss on the Shen, connects. Gets the damage down, taunt out on Shen as well. Murk, Ginyu rotating the Granada up to that top side of the map to secure this last grub and put Elysian on a timer, potentially. And they are going to end up securing that second grub for them. Splitting the grubs with the side of Elysian. 2 in favor of Ginyu, 1 in favor of Elysian. And we're going to opt to look for some sort of invade with the Galio ult, the hero's entrance covering him there, hopefully. We're going to see Zenless and Zombie take vision control back from the spot side, hoping to be ready. Handshake goes out onto the Braum, connects a little bit of damage, forces the Guardian out. Not much more. Doesn't look too bad though. Invade going in on the top side. They force out Red in the jungle. Drake and X-Wave taking as much as they can from him.
They definitely want to keep pushing this lead with their whole team ahead.
They got the tempo, but they can't afford to make more mistakes like that flash earlier from the Rumble. A little bit aggressive, a little bit too much of a reach. Fen gonna connect the taunt. Missile doesn't quite connect. Shen gonna be taking away as much of Rumble's HP as he can. Doesn't quite find the pick, but I mean, I think he's more than happy with the damage that just went out for this dragon onto the Rumble. Rumble does have TP available. Wukong currently present in the bot side, gonna opt to rotate to his wolves to clear that before going to his Gromp into the dragon. Let's see both teams opt to slow down a little bit in preparation for this objective fight. Sivir not having nearly enough mana to facilitate this. Taunt's gonna come out from Galio. Good amount of damage on this Victor. Gets him about half HP. No one there to save him. Page is gonna go down. Doesn't quite connect with the stun though. Punch gonna go back in, taking away even more of that HP. Gonna be feeling really good. Renata potentially caught in the river here. Handshake goes out on Jinx. It does connect. Glacial Bishop goes down. Hostile takeover connects for 3. Wasn't good enough though. Jinx is gonna get excited and force this Sivir to burn the flash. Renata goes down. Stan United gonna go down on Victor mid. It is called. Chaos Storm gonna connect. Galio ends up going down as well. That's gonna be 2 kills for the side of Elysian. 2 very strong macro plays. Murk just getting caught where they don't want to be. TP's gonna end up going back top. Rumble's not gonna get anything off of that. It looks like they made a macro play they needed to make to push themselves back in the lead here. Elysian gonna be securing that dragon. First dragon of the game. Gonna be Ocean Drake. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, but Elysian has clawed their way back into what I would consider a neutral game state for them.
Yeah, they made a couple mistakes on the Ginyu side from not getting as much XP. All solo laners are ahead in XP at the moment.
And that's crazy considering that, you know, we're dealing with like a 10 here and who shouldn't really be as far ahead of XP as he is. Taunt's gonna come out from Shen, connects with the Rumble, forces them into a bad position. Hero's entrance gonna come out from Galio, protecting the Rumble from that little bit of last damage. Equalizer went down as well, didn't really get enough HP off. TP gonna be coming out from Victor to dissuade the potential re-engage with the Galio. Gonna look for something under tower, Flash gonna come out, E's gonna connect. Super Mega Death Rocket's coming top, doesn't really do much though. But they do get the pick onto that Rumble, forcing Galio to stay top here. Mumu is forced to catch that bottom wave, and it looks like Elysian's going to leverage this opportunity to take those grubs away from the side of Murk, potentially put them into a 4-grub lead. Handshake's going to go out on Jinx. Jinx is going to get caught by it. Going to be pressured out here. Ignite's going to go down. On the Hunt's going to go out from Sivir. Sivir's going to be forced to do damage under tower. TP coming out. Renata is stunned at a turret. Bailout's going to come through. Doesn't do enough damage quite to Jinx. Doesn't get the revive, but does get the pick onto Rumble with Jinx off of the TP. 1 for 1 with some plates involved. It's going to look just about equal, I believe, in terms of gold exchange here. Not optimal, but not a terrible play from the side of Murk, to be honest.
Yeah, they're starting to lose their advantage with the gold advantage, and they just got 4 grubs.
This is going to be first tower to the side of Murk, though. That is
gonna make it more
good. Very, very good. Yeah, that closes the gap to about 500 gold difference right now. Not looking terrible. Renata's going to solo contest this Victor mid. Going to take a little bit of HP damage there. Victor not quite having the items to facilitate. No, just one-shotting the Renata here. Mumu looking for a potential flank on Vision, though. Victor's going to be able to escape.
Like I said, Rumble is 2 levels down. Like 3 levels down on their mid lane. That's going to be hard to come back from.
He does need to probably sit there, catch a little bit of waves, potentially even take jungle camps and rubber band them. Could see that they're gonna opt to send the bot lane back down to contest this Jinx. Sivir having good wave control. I think it's gonna be fine. Optimally, I believe they would want that Sivir in the mid lane to pressure out this Victor, potentially take down that turret and open up the map a little bit more for them to play around their Galio. But all in all, not a bad situation to see themselves in with that first tower gold. Bandage toss going to come out from Lulu, doesn't quite connect. Renata, it appears, is AFK. Connection issues potentially. Okay. Elysian going to start this Herald. Blind, pretty much. So I don't think Murk has any information on top side here. Elysian gonna move their bot lane to mid. They show on vision. That wave is pushing into their tier 2. Murk looking for a potential pick. Handshake connects onto Braum, forcing him to use his dash away, but he gets out for free. Galio, relatively exposed in this mid lane. Wukong looking for the engage. Cyclone does not come out from him. Launch's gonna go down. Gonna see a relative stalemate here from both teams, trying to get a feel for where they need to be, what they need to be doing. Rumble looking for mid lane here, not quite able to catch any waves at the moment. Sivir utilizing that wave presence that she is so well known for. Flash handshake does not connect from Renata. Attempted good look, but Renata now leaving herself relatively vulnerable to any potential engages from the side of Elysian, not having that flash available anymore. Bit of a dance going out. Zenless and
well, he was against Victor early, so maybe that's why he built MR.
The Rumble. Well, Shen also does a little bit of magic damage, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, but since they swapped early, Victor was harassing him enough. But yeah, they're right. He should be building damage.
Yeah, I think that's why he didn't upgrade the Verdant Barrier, actually. I think it's just Verdant Barrier. Equalizer's going to go down on the top side. Going to force the Shen to back off, but Rumble's going to lose his HP for that. Sivir looking for potential engage. Hostile takeover finds the Wukong and the Braum. Cyclone finding 2. Going to connect. Recast on Cyclone. Hero's entrance coming out from Blood Murk. Taunt's going to go down on the Wukong. No recast of Cyclone available.
Sivir's doing damage.
Very low. Approach the side, he's going to connect for 3. That is massive. Sivir's going to get a recast of On the Hunt. Lethal Tempo is active. Shen going to find the TP in. So is Victor.
Victor's there, though. Sivir's killing him.
Sivir's going to connect for 3. A potential TP from Rumble on the backside. Full HP, full mana. Going to find the Braum. Sivir looking on the re-engage. Doesn't have help. Obviously, just going to lose too much HP there. It's a little bit dangerous. But it looks like it's going to be a relatively even trade from both sides. TP's coming out from both. Ult's going down. Hero's entrance off cooldown now. Stand United going to go on to cooldown. Galio having TP available. Sivir is very powerful at the moment.
Yeah. You need to rely on that and keep her alive.
Sivir going to be harassed out by the Victor. Victor going to tank a tower shot here. Wukong there to facilitate any potential re-engage onto this Victor. Amuma's going to take the base. Wukong going to opt into starting the dragon. Renata there to make sure that Victor doesn't get too much wave presence. Galio makes the rotate in, but it is a little bit too late. It looks like Elysian's going to capitalize on this break in pressure to take the dragon for themselves, securing their second Drake and forcing the rift into Cloud Soul. Cloud Soul being very, very good for their team, getting the bonus movement speed off of Chenault, off of Wukong Gold. Glacial Fissure being super, super powerful with it as well. I think Elysian really, really likes the Soul and wants to play for it. See 4 people mid on the side of Murk. Galio up top contesting the Shen. Both have TPs available.
Yeah, Rumble's hovering like other lanes and in the jungle too much. He needs to get XP. He's just never gonna catch up. It's kind of...
Nada gonna be caught here. Glacial Fissure goes down on her. Stun available. Hostile takeover does not connect the Jinx. Curse the side bomb he does though. Curse the Jinx is gonna be harassing the Renata. Damage gonna go on the Mumu. Shen gonna land the taunt off of the TP. Potential reset. Hero's entrance. Connect. Super Mega Death Rocket finds the Amumu. No one there to revive him though off of the bailout. Taunt's gonna connect to Braum and Shen. Handshake does not find its mark. Renata ends up going down, giving Jinx the reset. Jinx gonna find Galio here also. This is the equalizer onto the backline. Finds the Braum. Not enough damage. They end up catching the Rubble out as well. That's going to be 4 kills for the side of Elysian, looking very, very dominant on that play as well.
Yeah, they can't do that without Sivir. Sivir is like all their damage right now.
Fighting without an ADC. More classic classic endgame. Yeah, Sivir
like,
holding a lot of their gold at the moment. It'll be very, very rough. Elysian taking the reins of this game. Holding back their 2.5k gold lead. Okay, very, very, very powerful once again.
Like, Sivir is still really strong. Like, nobody can really kill her easily. They just need to have that lockdown around her, not without her.
Handshake's gonna find its mark onto Victor. Doesn't quite get much off of it. Victor gonna end up forcing his agenda onto them. 4 people bot side for the side of Murk. Braum looking to potentially catch someone out here. Sivir just hoping to neutralize these waves as much as possible. Shen on that side wave, uncontested at the moment. No one to catch his top side.
I gotta catch this.
Taunt's gonna come out, doesn't quite connect with anybody. Boomerang's gonna hit, forcing out a little bit of a Guardian work. That's gonna be bailout on cooldown as well. If Elysium wanted to take a fight, they could here. They're down their bailout. Looks like they're gonna opt to play this slow. Get Shen pushing in that side wave, get Victor on that other one top side. Fully forcing, you know, a response out of Murk. They set up and get ready for this next dragon play. Gonna look top with Galio. Rumble getting a little bit damaged, forcing that shield off of Braum. Galio on the flank for Victor. Victor going to opt to play in the bush, get the cage down, get the stun on Galio. Chaos Storm's gonna come out, forcing a little bit of damage on Galio. Stand United's gonna come out from Shin, because that moment's gonna find 2. It's gonna be Super Mega Death Rocket from Jinx connecting with the Galio, forcing him to die. And that's gonna be a double kill for the side of Elysian, and it looks like they're gonna find that 3rd onto Jinx as well. Jinx having to use Flash for it, but that is more than okay. That is 3 kills for Elysian before this Baron. Equalizer's gonna go down, connecting with the Victor. Doesn't quite do enough damage. Victor just having barely enough HP to survive it. It's gonna be 4 kills to the side of Elysian, and probably the Baron as well. I mean, I don't want to, you know, call something before the fat lady sings, but like, they're just not letting the Sivir play this game.
No.
Sivir has not interacted with the fight in the past 3 team fights. And it's showing.
They have fight as Galio and Amumu by themselves. Like, that's just, they need their damage around them. Like, Galio's so strong in a team fight scenario. Like,
they're opting to not let this Sivir participate in these fights, and I don't know if it's negligence on Murk's side or just good macro play from the side of Elysian. Could be a little bit of both, to be honest.
I mean, you gotta think they should have just took away the Shin. Shin just keeps them alive, and then yeah.
Shen being a huge problem. Shen gonna opt to solo contest this dragon. Mumu gonna end up smiting it. Victor's gonna be there for the follow-up. Sivir gonna pop on the hunt to try to get out. Shen gonna be burning flashes. A Mumu bandage toss is gonna connect. That's gonna be Super Mega Death Rocket, barely missing Sivir. And Chris Sabami goes out to secure the kill onto the Mumu. Braum connecting, shield. Glacial Fisher gonna go down, catching the Renata out. Hostile takeover is gonna find 3. Jinx is gonna end up shredding through Braum's HP, but his passive shield is up to deny a little bit more of that damage. Shen gonna opt into the empowered recall to potentially go top against this Rumble on the split push. Stand United available. Victor pushing out this bot lane to pressure them. It is looking very bleak. Cyclone going to go out in Galio. Jinx narrowly missing the W. Reset's going to go out. Excited. Hero's Entrance going to connect. Going to find its mark. Going to be able to go out. Jinx get the reset. Stand United going onto Jinx. Rumble looking for the equalizer. Doesn't quite connect it. Jinx gets another reset. Looking onto the Mumu. Getting some damage down. Cog looking on the engage. That's a Jinx triple kill. She finds her mark. Doesn't quite have enough damage to finish off the Sivir, but very dominating fashion. Super Mega Death Rocket gonna connect with the Mumu, not quite enough damage though. And it looks like that's gonna be all she wrote for the side of Murk Academy. One last fight going out here, looking for kills. Shen gonna find the taunt, gets the damage onto a Mumu and Sivir. Gonna be trading Jinx, but it does not matter as the Nexus falls for the side of Ginyu Force. That's gonna be a clean 2-0 for the side of Elysian. I don't think it gets much more decisive than that. Shen being a key player in deciding both of these games.
Yeah.
The macro play coming out from Elysian just showing complete dominance. Snipes with Super Mega Death Rocket from across the map. Stand United, being as decisive as it is. Ginyu Force did not allow Sivir to participate in the fights in the later game, and it showed that they were lacking the damage that they needed.
Yep. And it gave up their lead. Like Sivir was doing enough damage to kill all of them in that mid fight that they had, and definitely could have happened plenty more times.
Elysian leveraging their ability to snowball their comp and not really caring about a fact that, hey, they have an aggressive team comp. They got the Rumble. They got the good matchup. Let's switch our lanes so that we can potentially not lose our lead here, not lose our potential strengths, and move the Shen around accordingly to facilitate these fights and let our Victor have the best chance at scaling into the later game as well. I believe that set was a best of 3, so Elysian taking that 2-0 is going to result in them winning their week 1 match in rather dominating fashion. I do not know if we have an interview lined up. It appears we do not have an interview lined up. So I believe that is going to be all for this week. Go ahead and tune in next week for the next match. I'm not entirely certain on what that streamed match is going to be, but it should be just as entertaining as this week. I hope you guys all have a good night.
Peace out. Peace out, Girl Scouts.